Now, as much as I enjoy playing around with new tech, there's something undeniably appealing about analog things.
There's nothing digital that can replace the instant gratification of instant. Polaroid is the OG, and this new flip is going with a formula that is purely Polaroid.
The design of this Polaroid flip is unmistakably Polaroid. They are going for the old, if it's not broken design-wise, why not just stick with it? I mean, you could be quite easily forgiven for thinking that this is just another old Polaroid camera, but when you look at it, it's very much made for the modern day. There's a USB-C here, there's a little LCD screen up here.
The display shows all of the info that you might need and 3 different options to choose from, and that's pretty much it. Alright, it's not exactly high-tech, but Polaroid has been around for a while and have made a ton of cameras, often trying to converge latest tech with the original concept.
It's got a display system, but the best thing is that it's still an analog Polaroid film camera. Oh, and it's got an optical viewfinder. This is like before the days of mirrorless. They've got an electronic viewfinder and an optical one. That's like a big burger.
From a finder for the future to the flips finder from the past.
When you're looking through the viewfinder, you won't see anything, well, apart from the obvious, but you won't see any kind of information. I mean, the viewfinder is about as tech as the one I built last time, but it is, of course, much bigger and much brighter.
Would I want a viewfinder with some info in it? Well, I don't know what I would really need to know when you can't manually set anything. Taking photos with the flip really is about shutter button happy shooting. Well, maybe don't get too happy as the cost will soon add up.
But in terms of what you can fiddle about with before you take that shot, there's not too much. There's only just 2 buttons. So if you're a bit of a photo fiddler, then you're probably better off with the i2.
For those looking for Polaroid fun, perhaps the i2 might seem to take itself too seriously. Although it's got an automatic mode if that's what you're after, and I feel like that suits the Polaroid way better, the flip does that for less.
The i2, if you missed it, is on the complete other end of the spectrum from the Go and now entry-level cameras. It has a LiDAR autofocusing system, it's got frame lines, woo! And it's got actual live exposure information through the viewfinder because you can set your own exposure manually. But do you need all of that with a Polaroid camera? I don't think so.
Most likely it's going to be used for a lot of this kind of thing, so you'll want a camera that is auto everything. Whether you use the finder or not, to me, the whole point of Polaroid photography is that you don't overthink it. Just spontaneous shooting. And that's great because the flip doesn't force you to think much.
It's all about ease of use with the flip, so they've got scene analysis to make sure the exposure is correct, because it's all automatic exposure. But essentially what that scene analysis amounts to is a little red LED right here, right next to your eyeball, alerting you, going cooey, your shot's going to be overexposed or underexposed. And that's pretty much it.
In fact, it'll red alert you if your shot is overexposed, underexposed, or it's got something blocking the finder. Then what you've got to do is figure out if it's flashing for being under or over or something else, and then long press the button for exposure comp. Then you've got 2 options, to increase the exposure bit or decrease depending on whether it's supposedly too bright or too dark. But to be honest, with an f9 lens, the flash, apparently their strongest yet, is pretty much standard even in daylight.
But what else has it got to make the shooting experience more convenient for the user? Well, it's got autofocusing, but unlike the i2, which uses some fancy LiDAR autofocusing, this uses a more old school method.
At least it's not the kind of old school way you learn everything the hard way.
Andy Warhol's camera, it's just fixed focus, so it has to be from a certain spot.
That's loud!
Here we are. He's not even in frame. That's arty.
Other than the fixed focus or manual focusing ones, and some quirky ways of finding focus ones.
But the best bit is this. Watch this. It's the focusing system. You've got a light to focus. It's like some James Bond stuff. When they combine together, those 2 lights, bang, that's focused. So when that evil guy tries to cut James Bond's bollocks with a laser.
There were some, well, quirky ways of autofocusing back then.
It's kind of old school, and I don't mean in the sense that bats have been using this for years. It uses sonar technology to bounce off sound waves to your subject and back to the camera to figure out the distance. Now, this is technology that Polaroid has used in some of their classic cameras many, many years ago, and now they're using it in this. And then when it detects the distance of the subject, it changes between 4 different lenses, all of different optimal focusing distances, and it does all of that before that shot happens.
The focusing system offers more than the lower end models, which are fixed focused, either single or dual fixed focus zones. With 4 focus zones and cool retro sonar AF, the Flip offers a lot more.
Is it quick? Well, I'm kind of pleasantly surprised at how quick it managed to cycle through all of those 4 lenses and then takes the shot. But you know, to critically evaluate the efficiency of the auto-focusing system would be missing the point. The photos are going to have that soft, fuzzy charm anyway, so can you tell if it's out of focus or not? Probably not.
And that's about it, but as Clooney might ask if he was reviewing cameras, what else? Well, there's an app that should connect to the camera, but because the camera's technically not released yet, there's no option for it in the app. There's an option for scan, which scans your prints, obviously, and reflections too.
And the great thing is that this is just under £200, $200, and it makes it that much better than the slightly above £100 Go and now entry-level cameras. But it is every bit as decent as the more expensive i2. If you don't have to make manual exposures, the Flip is definitely the option I'd go for. It's cool, it's got sonar autofocusing, it's Polaroid, and there really isn't much else to say about it. It's peak analog fun.
The Polaroid Flip hits a sweet spot, if ever there was a spot that tastes sweet. It strikes a fine balance between not being too basic, but not being more than you really need in a fun little, sort of little, instant print camera. For the feels, the sounds, the function that you would want when you use a Polaroid camera, the Flip is certainly a flipping great choice to make sure you get your Polaroid fix.